Hi, everyone. Welcome to another Sunday live stream. I hope everyone is doing well. So today I'm going to cover it is because I got a number of comments on my YouTube video on a memorandum of contract with some people who I think were selling land, and there was a contract recorded, and it created issues, or they were trying to buy land. But the point being that this is a legal document that's a little, it's a little more rare, but it can cause a lot of issues. So I thought it would be good to cover it, since you may come across one, or you may have a buyer or seller request that one be recorded. And if this happens, you should understand what the implications are, because they can be pretty extreme in some cases. But while we are waiting for everyone to join, I just wanted to cover the basics. So if you are here for the first time and you don't know who I am, my name is Erica. I have a company called Voucher Capital. I buy and sell vacant land. And let me just share my screen so I can show you my website. So my website is vouchercapital.com. Like I said, I buy and sell land. If you're looking to sell land, you can come here and request a cash offer. If you're looking to buy land, you can click buy land, and that will take you to a map that shows all of our available listings. This is an interactive map, so you can scroll in and out. And if you click on a pin, there will also be a link to the available properties. Right. And then on top of that, we do provide a lot of informational material. So I do like to say, when I started out buying land, I found it really difficult because I didn't see a lot of good information on land due diligence. So I've been trying to put out information that I think would be helpful to buyers and sellers, or just landowners. And you can find that information under our blog. You can just click blog. We have a number of different blog posts, over 450. These are all long form blog posts, at least 2,000 words, that cover topics in detail. So if there's anything that you are interested about, or that you've come across in your land journey, just go to this search bar here, type in the topic, and we probably have a blog post on it. Of course, we also have this YouTube channel where we put out informational videos as well, including these live streams. But we also have a number of videos about our properties if you're looking to buy properties. Okay, it looks like no one has joined yet, so I'm hoping this is working. But I'll get into it anyway. So the way these live streams work is there'll be 3 parts. First, I will go over the topic that I'm going to cover, in this case, the Memorandum of Contract. And then I'll go over our latest properties for anyone who's in the market, and then we'll do our vacation giveaway. All right. Hi, Matthew. So it looks like one person's joined. All right. So, Memorandum of Contract. What is a Memorandum of Contract? A Memorandum of Contract is a form that records a purchase and sale agreement or contract. So what does this mean in practice? Well, a purchase and sale agreement, I think everyone's familiar with this. This is the legal contract that dictates the terms of a real estate sale. Could be vacant land, could be a home. If you've ever bought a home or any piece of real estate, you have likely signed a purchase and sale agreement. Now, a purchase and sale agreement is not recorded with the county. So it's not a public document. I can't go on a county or government website and look up the purchase and sale agreement of say, my neighbor when they bought their property. It's legally binding, so it'll hold up in court, but it's not publicly available the way, say, a deed is. Now, if you're not aware of this, whenever you buy or sell real estate, or when real estate is transferred, the deed usually, or should be, recorded with the county recorder's office, and it becomes a public document that theoretically anyone can look up. And this is important because title companies need to be able to find a deed. If they can't find a deed, they're not going to consider the current owner the current owner. All right, we have some more people joining. Hi, everyone. Hi, Smooth to Smooth. Hi, Iris. Thank you for being here. Great. So generally speaking, a memorandum of contract is a simple legal document that basically is recorded with the county and just says that this purchase and sale agreement has been created for this particular property. And I'll go into what it covers in a little more detail later. But the most important thing to understand here is that it is recorded. Or usually the point is to record it, although sometimes it can be used for other purposes. So it may not, if it's not recorded, it can be a way to outline the terms and details of the purchase and sale agreement before it's formally created. So if you have a really complicated deal, this may be a way to, so if you have a, like, shall I say, if you have a really complicated deal and it's taking a long time to hammer out all of the details, this may be a first step for getting a basic outline of the deal terms done before you then go to the formal contract. So there are other, that's another use for a memorandum of contract. But the way that I've usually seen it come up is that it is used to provide evidence of a relationship between a property owner and the purchaser, say under a purchase and sale agreement or a land contract or any other kind of contract. And it, again, must be filed or recorded with the county. Okay, so a memorandum of contract will, it's a much more simple document than, say, a deed or a purchase and sale agreement, but it will specify the following information: the names of the buyer and seller, the information of the actual property, so the legal description as well as the address, and the basic information on the purchase and sale agreement that it refers to, so, and the date that the agreement was entered. And additional to depending on how much detail drafting that wants to provide. It usually, though, doesn't go into the full terms of the purchase, like the purchase price. It's really, and then again, here's the crux of the matter. It's really there to serve as a notice that a property is under a contract, whether that's a land contract or a purchase and sale agreement. All right. So when you first hear about a memorandum of contract, especially as a land buyer, your first thought is probably, I definitely want to have one recorded. And I'm going to go over why it's not necessarily as good of an idea as you may initially think, and why it's somewhat rare. But of course, first, there is a good reason why at least a buyer would want to file a memorandum, and that is because you are essentially making terms of your purchase a public record. So, you know, if you really want to be certain that the sale is going to go through, you've put this document on the public record. That means, like, say if you have a really unscrupulous seller and they try to sell the property twice, when the title company, if they're trying to sell the property to someone else, when that buyer's title company pulls the record, they'll see the memorandum contract and say, oh, you already have an active sale going on with someone else. In the case of a land contract, it just makes the land contract part of the public record, which could give the buyer a little more comfort. So that would be why a buyer would want a memorandum of contract filed. it's a little bit less clear why you would want this, but generally they'll do it because they want to sell the property, or it's required, sometimes it's required by the bank that's involved in the transaction. So yes, I mean, it does at first glance seem like a really good idea, but there are a lot of downsides to a memorandum of contract, and that's why you rarely see them in sort of standard residential and vacant land transactions. So for example, we don't work with memorandums of contract. And the reason, the main downside here is that the memorandum of contract puts a cloud on the chain of title. And the only way you can remove is releasing the memorandum of contract. So once it's recorded, it's there, and it's going to stay there. So even if the purchase and sale agreement falls through, that memorandum of contract is there, and it's still creating a cloud on the title, and it will remain there until the person who executed the memorandum of contract records a release. And this is a big problem for sellers, as you may imagine, because they are essentially allowing you to put a big cloud on their property. And they would have to rely on you as the buyer to remove that cloud if you decide not to move forward with the purchase. And memorandums of contract have created a lot of issues for sellers because they don't really have a way of removing it once it's there if the person who initially executed it disappears or doesn't want to record a release. So, and just for a little bit of reference, a cloud on the chain of title usually means that the property is uninsurable, or it would be really hard to get title insurance, which in turn makes it really difficult to sell the property. So, and I'll just make one note here. There is actually one way that if you own a property and your buyer recorded a memorandum of contract and then disappeared, there is one way you can remove it, and that is through quiet title, which would clear up ownership claims and make you the full owner again, or you know, it would clear the cloud on the chain of title. But quiet title is a full legal process, so it's costly and time consuming. So this is the main reason why most sellers will not agree to have a memorandum of contract when they're doing a deal. And it's also important on the buyer side to check for these things, because if you're trying to buy a property and there is an existing memorandum of contract, that means that it's a clouded title. And if you do purchase the property, then it becomes an issue for you. So this is another one of these title issues that you want to search for as well. And so here's the basic form. It's a very simple document, but you can see it gives just the basic information that a purchase and sale agreement was entered into between the two parties and the date that it was entered into, the details of the property. And then here they outline when the closing is supposed to occur. And it is signed and notarized, right? So again, to terminate a memorandum of contract, the person who executed it generally has to file a release and record that as well. Okay. So that is, that's basically the gist of contract. It's a fairly simple document, but it's created for land sellers. Again, what can happen is they may allow a buyer to execute a memorandum of contract, and then the sale falls through and they can't get that contract released, and then they have a clouded title, and it's very difficult for them to sell the property. Or there are instances where a buyer buys a property and for whatever reason, a memorandum of contract wasn't caught. And now they're stuck with a property that has clouded title. So this is why most sellers, unless they absolutely have to, like if a bank says they need a memorandum of contract, will generally, at least in my experience, say no. They do not want a memorandum of contract filed with the county. So it's something to watch out for. Also as a buyer, again, as I said, because it creates a cloud on title, so it could be a title issue if there's one that's already there. Hopefully your title company will catch it, but it's something to be aware of. Okay, this was actually kind of a quick topic. So we did have a very long live stream last week. So this one I'll keep a little bit shorter. But anyway, get to the properties. So I'll go back here. We have been posting a number of properties recently. And happy daylight savings time, by the way, everyone. I didn't say that earlier, but get an extra hour today. So hopefully you all got some extra sleep in, except for those of you in Arizona and Hawaii, where things are just normal. Okay, so I did post a 10-acre property in Socorro County. This is in New Mexico. And we've posted a lot of properties in this area. This is an area we like to work in. It is just to the south of Albuquerque. It's about 50 minutes to Albuquerque and 20 minutes to the nearest town, which is Belen. Belen is a bedroom community to Albuquerque, and there's actually a train station here, a commuter rail that leads up to Albuquerque. This is in Tierra Grande. It's like I said, it's a subdivision we like to work in. The reason I like Tierra is because there is actually an improvement association here. And I know many people don't like HOAs, but in this particular instance, I really like this HOA. One, because I know the administration, they're really helpful. But also, this is a more rural area. And it's funny because whenever I post property videos, people always refer to Breaking Bad. But the reason that this particular subdivision is not kind of a Breaking Bad scenario is because the improvement association basic. So there are about 150 people who are able to build homes and live out here because the Tierra Grande Improvement Association has brought out electricity. The roads are bladed out and in decent condition. They also monitor condition of properties, make sure that you know, the properties are generally kept in a decent condition, so you don't, again, have like a Breaking Bad scenario. They also, and another thing they do is they have 14,000 acres of open space that are for use exclusively by property owners in Tierra Grande. So that's nice. It's recreational land, like for hiking and all of that. This is 10 acres. It's a lot of land. The cash discount price is $7,999. But as with all of our properties, we offer owner financing. So it's only $1 down, plus the $395 document fee to start. And there's no credit check and no application. You just go to our main listing page and click buy or hold, and that's it. There's also no interest. It's 0% APR. You just don't get the cash discount price when you purchase with owner financing. Now, I'll also note that with owner financing, you're not able to build on or live on the property until the end of the loan term. And we do that because, again, we don't do an application process. So That's just one of our terms, but we do want to help people pay off the loan as soon as possible, so there's no prepayment penalty. And we do offer 20% off of the full owner financing price if you pay off in the first 6 months. And if you haven't seen it, we do provide a 30-day money-back guarantee minus any fees. So if you buy the property and decide it's not for you, we do have that guarantee. And we have a number of other bonuses that we provide when you buy a property, including a homesteading guide, and we also give out complimentary vacation voucher like we do on these live streams. So that's our latest property. And with that, I will get to the vacation. I don't think that there are that many people online today. All of you at this. And I know a lot of you have been here before, but if you haven't, basically what it is the vacation voucher valid for 3 nights of over 50 global locations. The hotel stays complimentary, but and it's usually for 1 or 2 people, but there will be some hotels that allow up to 2 children. Now, if you do win, what I'll do is I'll give you my email and you just send me an list of all the locations. You can pick your location and then you have 7 days to redeem it. You do have to pay the taxes, but you don't your hotel stay yet. You'll have 18 days to decide when you want to go, so your dates, and then which hotel. And every location should have a number of participating hotels. But I will note that you aren't able to see the hotels in advance. You do have to redeem the voucher first. The other things I'll note is major holidays are usually not available, and there is a small fee for weekend bookings. I think it's like $50 a night. So those are the basic terms. And basically the way this works is in the chat, just say yes if you're interested, and then we will number everyone based on when they said yes. So the first person to say yes will be 1, second is 2, so on and so on. And then I'll have Google randomly select a number. All right. So I'll wait about a minute for everyone to say yes. No conversations for about a minute. Otherwise it gets confusing. Right. Again, I hope you all had a great week. Enjoyed the extra hour today. I personally always find that really throws me off. But it was nice to get a little extra sleep. So, and we'll just do 20 more seconds. And I think everyone who said yes, so just 10 more seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 participants. 8. So everyone has a really good shot. Let's go to Google. We're going to pick a random between 1 and 8. And it's number 6. That would be James. You are today's winner. Congratulations. So here is my email. And if you just want to tell me, I will send you information as well as a list of locations. And for everyone else, thank you so much for joining. I do this every week, so if you keep coming back, you will likely win at some point. Also, so today I'm keeping it short, but if anyone has a topic they're interested in, let me know in the chat or comment through YouTube or direct message. Other social media site, or you can email me as well, and I will cover in another live stream. I also hope to bring in some more interviews in the upcoming weeks and months. So you all Sunday evening. I'll see you next week, same time, same place.